Hello everyone, I'm Runispism, and welcome to Let's Play Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. Because this is the sequel to the game that I literally just played earlier this week, I don't really feel the need to explain myself too much on the game and what I'm playing and whatnot. It's Pac-Man Championship Edition again. You run around mazes quickly and try to collect stuff as fast as you can. Pac-Man Championship Edition does have a tutorial and an adventure mode, but because we saw a game kinda similar to this one just a little while ago, I don't really feel the need to go through the tutorial content too much. The adventure is basically just an extension of the tutorial where it starts putting you in the real mazes and says like, okay, try to do this as fast as you can, then this as fast as you can, then this as fast as you can. Congratulations, if you just put all that together, that's a score attack. So score attack is still kind of the real mode. Although adventure does get... adventure has a couple of interesting things, but nothing that I really want to show off. Anyway, as far as score attack goes, each map has 4 different kinds of score attack. It has a practice mode that I'm not particularly interested in, a single train mode where only one ghost train chases you around. In Pac-Man Championship Edition 1, this may sound quite thrilling because that's how that one worked, but the ghosts are a lot more easy to work with in this game. So it has a regular mode where there are 4 ghost trains chasing you around instead, and that's kind of how it expects you to be playing. That's definitely the most competitive mode as far as high scores and whatnot go. And then there's an extreme mode where it's even a little bit harder than that, and I will show off the differences between extreme mode and the regular mode as well, but not quite yet. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a couple of practice runs of the regular 5-minute score attack for the easiest maze in the game, so I can explain some of the game mechanics before I start doing actual high score attempts. But it looks pretty similar, doesn't it? The only difference is that instead of a, instead of a game speed tracker, we have this little progress bar in the bottom. And when the progress bar fills up, the fruit appears and we can eat it to move on to the next stage. And if we don't feel like eating all of the dots, we can just go straight for it and it'll move us on. So unlike Pac-Man Championship Edition 1, you don't have to eat all of the dots if you don't want to. And this can lead to more improvisational styles of play, where I can just cut across there if I really want to get the level over and done with as soon as possible, instead of going all the way through this. But there are important differences between fully clearing a level and skipping a level, which is kind of how I refer to it. When I fully complete a level by eating the final dot there, I earn an extra bomb. And also the numbers that appear when I eat the dots as well. You can see that they're growing larger and larger. That is the actual amount of points that I'm earning for eating those dots. So the more I eat, the more worthy they become, so to say. So eating all of them does eventually start giving you a decent amount of points per dot. This is how the new invincibility mode works. We have a timer in the center that tells me how long I'm still invincible for, and we have a track on the screen that shows where the the chain of ghosts is allowed to go. So by parking myself there, I actually forced the second chain to walk into me. They're not allowed to do 180s, and they're only allowed to take corners where the track says that they can take corners. So... yeah, so it's kind of like that, I guess. You try to trick the ghosts into running towards you because they're forced to by the track. Anyway, as well as not making your dot combo quite as high and not giving you the bomb you get for fully clearing the level, when you choose to skip a level, you might notice that my dot combo actually reduces by 100, so I'm back down in the 400s instead of the maximum 500 that I was at a little while ago. And again, see? It says 500 to 401, and now we're back in the 400s again. This isn't much, honestly, because I'm straight back up to 500. You can actually mathematically work out how many points I've lost, and it's only about 5,000 or so compared to the millions that I'm planning on getting. So reducing your dot combo from 500 to 400 isn't really that much in the long run, but it is something to consider when you're choosing between whether you want to fully clear a level or skip it. Another thing to know during these invincible sections is, you see how I left some sleeping ghosts behind? I can still eat them, and they will still add onto one of the ghost trains when I do. And not only that, but see how when I was eating that ghost train, the ghosts from the second ghost train that I was eating got added onto the third when I ate that, like... Basically, what this means is individual ghosts that you add onto each train can actually add up to a lot of score in the long run. Because when I add this one little guy here and this one little guy here, the first time I eat them they'll be worth about, 2,000 points or so. But then they'll fly onto another chain, and then I'll eat them again and they'll be worth like 2,000 points that time, because they'll be part of a longer chain that's worth more points. And then I'll eat them a third time, they'll be worth like 4,000, I'll eat them a fourth time, they're worth like 6,000. Basically, this means that one of the most important things for scoring is collecting as many ghosts as you can, and because each train can hold up to 60 ghosts, there's really no maximum like there was in Pac-Man Championship Edition 1. The chance of actually managing to get 240 ghosts running around is very slim. So even though I could grab the power pellet right now if I wanted to, it might be a better idea to actually bother to collect all of the sleeping ghosts first, just to make it worth a little bit more points. Okay, he's coming straight up for me. Yep, cool. Every time you earn 1,000,000 points, like I just crossed over from 1.8 to 2 million there, an extra life shows up somewhere in the stage. It may not seem important to collect extra lives considering how fairly easy it is to give the ghosts the runaround, and even if I do crash into one, all it does is make them mad and actually lethal for later. Like, you have to actually play quite poorly to run into a ghost. But extra lives are still important even if you're going for a high score, because at the end, your extra lives determine how many bonus points you get. Each extra life is worth hundreds of thousands of... Actually, is it hundreds of... I'm pretty sure it's hundreds of thousands. Yeah, they end up being quite a significant part of the millions of your score. And finally, as you get into the later mazes, the power pellets start running away from you like jerks. It's best to try and trick them into corners, just like these ghost trains here. So I've tricked this one into... Oops. I've tricked that one into running into me instead. Ha! Okay, I think with that we've finally discussed every little thing that's different from this game to the first one. And I've earned myself a measly 2.4 million points, so let's not even have a look at... Actually, no, let's do have a look, but it'll be embarrassing. So at the end here, your extra lives and your bombs fly into your score. And you actually earn a quadratic amount of points, where the more extra lives you have, the more the next one is worth. Oh, I got a B, isn't that lovely? Oh, and you can actually... Oh, and this screen. This screen is very important as well. I love this screen. It's very important for routing. You can see that, like, on the second Apple stage, I lost so many points by not actually eating all of the ghost trains. It's like, oh man, you would have earned hundreds of thousands of points if you actually managed to do it. About, let's see, I got 200,000 instead of 600,000. So it's like, if I played as hard as I could and then I saw a screen like this, I would think to myself, I fully cleared too many levels. If I just skipped one more level, I would have gotten those extra 400,000 points. Whereas if I saw a screen that was more like, oh, I just ended... Like, let's say I got to the second cherry, and then that was the end of my run instead. I would be like, okay, well... what if I wanted to improve this run, I would probably just need to, like... what's the way I'm trying to phrase it? Right, it would be like, oh, I can afford to slow down and fully clear more levels because the place I ended up at the end of the run was not a high-scoring place. So I need to either choose between being a lot faster to really get to that second orange, or being a lot slower and fully clearing the levels to earn more points in the ones that I did manage to get to. So you can tell if you ended up in like a drought or a feasting kind of area and what you need to do to improve your score from there. I really do like that screen. And then at the end you can see that like the lives and the bombs I had did not add up to much. They would have added up to a bit more if I managed to collect more of them. That was an important screen. I'm glad that I did show that before I had to explain it in the middle of a run. Anyway, let's see. The last thing I was going to say was, when I was talking about how important it is to collect a whole bunch of ghosts because they add up like multiple times when you eat them in different chains, the other consideration when you're on a stage where you get to invincibly eat ghosts, though, is if you get the power pellet early, that means while you're wandering around trying to force the trains into your waiting mouth, you can also pick up power pellets, or sorry, the little pellets. You can also pick up the little dots while you're wandering around doing that, so it can lead to a more efficient use of your time if you think you already have enough ghosts. So that's kind of the quick thinking that you need to do on ghost levels. Like, man, this game, yeah, that's why I said in my video on 1 that I like this game more than 1. Because this game leads to a lot more, like, improvisation and weird decisions where it's like, okay, do I want to skip this level, or do I think I need the points from fully clearing it? And when I'm on the level where I get the power pellet, do I want to grab it early because that's more efficient use of time? Or do I want to grab it late because having more ghosts means more points? And then you get the screen at the end, and the screen at the end shows you whether you were correct or not, because it's like, oh, you finished in a drought period, you should have used your time better. Or, no, you finished just after getting a giant mountain of points, you picked a fantastic time to end your 5 minutes. Ah, man. Yes, I love this game. Okay, now it's time for a splice point, and then we start doing real runs, because I don't want to explain everything again. Actually, wait, sorry. One more thing to explain. This one's only going to take 20 seconds, I swear. So let's say that you eat enough dots to get the fruit to appear, and you're on a level that you want to skip, and you're up here when it happens. And you're like, I don't even want to spend the time it takes to get down there to the fruit. What you do is you press the bomb button, and it puts you right there. And the cool thing is that no matter where you are, if you just hold down and press bomb, it gets you to the fruit no matter what. It always puts you right above it. Just one more time. Bam, get that fruit. So if you really want to skip a level as fast as you can, and you don't mind spending the tens of thousands of points that the bomb is worth, you can do that. That's what the bombs do in this game. And of course, if you're in a very dangerous situation, I might get into some dangerous situations in extreme mode where I use a bomb just to move away from where I am. So they do kind of fulfill their original purpose a little bit, but I do like the way that you can choose to spend them just for speed if you really want to. Anyway, alright, back out. Second splice point. Sorry about that one. Time to do real runs in just a second. Alright, we've gone over the mechanics. I've now had a million practice runs and failed recordings and whatnot. Also, at some point I noticed that the music was a little quiet, so I turned it up a bit. Time to do some actual score runs. So, when I'm doing actual high score attempts, what I like to do is, first, I build up my dot combo as high as I can, all the way up to 500 before I even start considering skipping levels. Because when you ruin your dot combo at 500, it only costs you a few thousand points as you build it back up. But when you ruin it early, it ends up costing you like quite a few 10,000s of points. Like, I've crunched the numbers, I've looked at the graphs, I figured it out a long time ago, so now I just do it this way. And then during power pellet stages like this one, what I do is, first I collect all of the ghosts to maximize the amount of points I get by eating them. But as for the dots, I don't really bother. Like, I'll just leave those ones behind, it's fine. Now that I've got 500 dot combo, I can just ruin it as I please. And again, even between power pellet levels, I'm more interested in collecting the ghosts to eventually be eaten than I am in getting all of the dots. So on this kind of level, I'll grab those ghosts and then kind of cut across to grab these ones as well. And get this one, and is that just barely enough dots? There we go. That was maybe not the best route to do it, but oh well. Oh my god. Why are you guys all in the way? Even though the ghosts aren't super deadly, you still don't want to run into them too much just because they slow you down like that. When it costs you a couple of seconds like that, it's not too much in the long run, but if you're not even paying the tiniest bit of attention to the ghosts and you just crash into them every single time, it'll keep costing you a few seconds over and over and it'll keep adding up. God, that was so efficient. I love it. Whoops, damn it, and then I mess up. So yeah, don't bother to grab all those dots on the left side. There's no ghosts over there. Just grab all these instead. Get the key. I didn't actually get that one down in the bottom left. Maybe I can, like, go back for it. Cost me a bomb, though. I wish I found a better route than that. I wonder if there's a better route than this for this maze. I did a couple of practice runs and a couple of attempts at the actual video. Although clearly they didn't go anywhere because you're watching this one instead. And I never managed to find an efficient route for this map that lets you collect all the ghosts early. I ended up just having to full clear it each time. That's 2 million points. Grab the extra life. I'll get out of the way. When the power pellets start running away, that's your cue that you've kind of entered the late game. And something interesting about the late game is the later you get in the run, the more dots you need to eat to get the fruit to appear. So when the power pellets start running, that generally means you've gotten to the point where you need to eat like 90% or more of the dots to get the fruit to appear. That's why I was so eager to eat them all during the time where I should have been chasing down ghosts, because I knew that it wouldn't have been worth it if I then just had to do it later anyway. And here I'm going to have to be very explicit about making sure I get all those. And on the right side as well, although there's easy ghosts to get here on the left before I go do that. Ah, okay. This puts us right on the path of the dots as well. Alright, now for you. You're gonna go that way? Yep. By juking upwards, I made him go down instead. Huh? Oh, I missed a single dot up there, are you kidding? Sometimes when you're eating ghost trains and dots at the same time, it'll actually just leave a dot behind as a bit of a glitch. It's a huge shame, because it leads to moments like that. When I'm chasing down running power pellets, I actually know which path they will take in any given T-junction. For example, if you're coming at them from the north and they can choose between left or right, they will go right. And you can work out every other one as well. I've got them all memorized. Although some of them are memorized in my fingers rather than my words, so I can't even, like, remember what to say. I think if you're going right, they'll choose down? I don't know, whatever. I remember it in my fingers. Ooh, just barely didn't die. So that's how I so confidently managed to chase down that power pellet, even though it looked like it had a lot of ways it could go. Anyway, after all those practice attempts on this level, I now basically remember my exact route for the high score. While we're here, I can think about, if I was going to try to improve my high score, I wonder how I would do it. Like, should I... I'm already skipping fairly aggressively. I would actually have to start skipping the first 4 levels and start putting all those yellow bars in jeopardy with my dot combo if I really wanted to skip any harder than that. But maybe it would be worth it if it got me another giant blue bar at the end. Well, who knows. I don't need to optimize every single second out of that run on camera. I don't really care to do it off camera either, honestly. We're not here to do every single level today, so I'll skip over a few and like just show off like 4 or 5 different ones, I think. Oh, and extreme mode at some point, obviously. Alright, so, once again, the pattern for skipping and clearing is, in the early game, we want to fully clear the levels to get our dot combo up. Then in the mid game we want to start skipping, and then in the late game we are forced to start clearing again. Is there a... It really does look like I just have to go across all the dots here. There's no real good cut points to get the ghosts early. There we go. I waited until the ghosts on the right were forced into their big circuitous pattern before I then cut in front of them suddenly, just after they made the decision that doomed them. Alright, it's time to start skipping, so I need to think about how I'm going to collect all these ghosts without getting all the dots. Something like that. Oh, out of the way, everyone! Whatever. I keep running into that pink ghost. If I was trying to optimize every second out of the run, that would probably cause me to consider, like, maybe I should be doing these maps right side first instead of left side first. And I would test if that makes me any less likely to run into them. Just to get an extra second or two here and there. It's a shame that this one's a cutscene eating, because now I have to, like, track these down myself. The fact that I could get the extra life at the same time made that more worth it than it normally would be. Normally I would prefer to probably just skip the level. Oh, damn it. I had to leave that one ghost behind and use a bomb. I should have done the outside first instead of doing the inside first. Oh, get away from me. Okay, good. I'm sure it's already happened at some point, and you may have noticed it if you're eagle-eyed, Although even I haven't noticed it yet, so in that case, great job. But when two ghost trains are overlapping while you're invincible, they will prefer to unoverlap themselves so heavily that they will actually start cheating the paths to do it. I haven't seen it happen yet myself, though. So whenever two ghost trains are overlapping, I try to pay closer attention to other paths they could take, even cheating ones. Oh my god, where am I going? I'm trying to get all the ghosts. There we go. I only missed one at the bottom, and I didn't waste too much time. Let's see if any of the ghost trains are overlapping when I pick up the power pellet here, and I'll point it out. Out of the way, everyone. Yeah, see? That one at the bottom right, it took a cheating path. It must have been happening earlier as well. It's actually quite common, but I didn't notice it until just then. Okay, where are you going? That way? Cool. I'll meet you there. I wonder if there's a better way to do this one. Going north first is just asking for trouble when the ghosts are spawning in like that. I took a bit of a long... Oh, not today! Oh, yesterday. Damn it. Yeah, the path I took at the start there ended up making a lot of ghosts mad, and then I had to... Well, I didn't have to run into one, but I ended up having to take a path that put me right into their way again. Okay, that one's just taking the left loop over and over, so we'll catch him there. 3 million points, time to grab the extra life. What a shame, this run was going quite well until that death. That's probably going to cause a pretty huge dent in my score. I wonder if I could have beaten my high score without that death. There we go. I hate it when they're going around in the corner loop like that, so I try to force them out of it before I actually get them. There we go. How much time have I got? Oh, just 12 seconds. That's not nearly enough. I wonder if I should have played faster to try and eat the ghosts on this level, or if I should have played slower to just squeeze a little bit more points out of what I had. I'm not even going to bother to grab the power pellet, I'll just eat the dots. Oh, just barely an S rank. My high score must have gotten the ghosts on that level as well. There's no way that dying would have cost me 500,000. Yeah, you can barely, well, not barely see, but you can see a little dip on the second orange where I died. But that dip doesn't account for 500,000 points. It must have been that I played faster and managed to actually get the second melon. Actually, this is a decent time to show off the process of iteration then, because what I can do is I can show off this level again on extreme difficulty. So extreme difficulty uses the same maps, and I think it's even the same speed, honestly. But there are a few differences that make the game just a fair bit harder. Firstly, you start with 4 ghosts. Secondly, touching a ghost makes it mad immediately. You're not even allowed to brush past them a little bit. And thirdly, every single fruit runs away from you instead of just, like, after the first several maps. But the basic strategy, oh my god, that dot... Yeah, okay, hold up. We're not accepting such a mistake in the first 30 seconds. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and then every fruit runs away from you instead of just the ones after like map 10 or so. Because all the fruits run away from you, extreme mode is a little bit slower than regular mode. Or rather, you can't get through the maps. Oh my god, again? I did say I would show off the iterative approach, I guess. That path was good, I just needed to do it frame perfectly instead of having a little bit of hesitation. So I'll do the exact same thing, and the ghost should hopefully chase me in the exact same way, but this time I'll play better. Anyway, as I said, because the fruits run away from you, extreme mode takes a little bit longer than normal mode. Frame perfect! Yeah! Which means that, even though I said this was going to be an iterative run where I try to do a little bit better than last time, I have a feeling that I'm still not going to be able to fully clear the second melon stage, just because it's going to take me a little bit longer to chase everything down. So let's say that if I manage to fully clear the stage just before the second melon stage, Wait, what the heck was that? Weird. Then we'll call it good. That ghost train was so long that it was actually cheating off of itself. Like, it was overlapping with itself, which was then making it trying to avoid itself. If you kind of understand what I mean. They really do hate overlaps. Wait, what am I doing? This way's safer. This way! Stupid extreme mode. Oh, nah. Damn it. I thought I was just barely fast enough to catch that one on the junction, but it managed to block me. Oh no! Damn it. There we go. But now where are we going? Wait, there's a dot down there in the bottom right. I guess I'll grab it while I'm trying to get this guy out of the loops. Get out of the loop! Oh, fine. Stay in it. See if I care. Normally when a large train is in a loop like that, it's really annoying because it means that you can't, like, force your way past its tail to get to its head. But if they stay in it long enough, then they become so predictable that you can eventually just get them anyway. Oh, I thought by taking that weird path I'd just barely managed to avoid touching any of them. Although the blue one didn't quite manage to chase... What? I thought you were supposed to go down there. Maybe I don't know the junctions as well as I thought I did. Making the pink one mad makes the orange one calm down. Generally, they only like to have one mad at once. You can actually kind of use that to your advantage in situations like that. Because the ghosts are running around so erratically, it's difficult to actually create situations where you use that on purpose. But if you see a situation where it could be useful, you can, like, you know what I mean. Sometimes it comes up even though it's hard to force. I can't believe I didn't touch any of those guys. Wow, that was clean. It's the kind of seconds saving that we love to see. Oh, damn it. I was hoping I would avoid them by going that way. Yeah, so the pink one got calm really quickly after I touched the orange one there. Oh, whoops. Okay, I guess I'm forcing my way through that. Cost me a couple of seconds, but yeah, it means the red guy didn't catch me. Get away from me. The corners here have a long way without any junctions, so it's pretty easy to catch them as long as you can force them into a corner. Just like that. Darn, I was hoping I would just barely be able to sneak past. Ooh, not today, buddy. Nope, not today, buddy. Ho ho ho, you have to wake up a little earlier in the morning and catch someone with my reflexes. Ugh. I can't grab the pellet without putting myself in massive danger. Okay, here we go. The pellet slows down the more you fail to catch it. Although it doesn't really happen to me very often unless I get into a situation like that. That's a shame too. This one run was going extremely well up until that. I managed to avoid the death, but I did not avoid wasting a whole bunch of time. Those two regular pellets are unfortunately just going to stay there. The pink one's gonna... Oh no! Ah, oh, damn it. I did slam that bomb button, but I wasn't quite fast enough. Nope. That was slightly cowardly. But now I can... Yeah. I can use the bomb just to get on the other side of him. Oh, okay. I thought I would catch someone doing that. 13 seconds to chase these guys down. Hopefully I can manage it. Oh, why'd you go that way? Ah, damn it. I don't think I'll be able to pull it off. One. No. What a shame. No, that's still good enough for an S rank. Okay. My high score was probably just like that, but without the death and with the extra chain at the end. Yeah, because if you do the maths on that grid place there, it's an extra 400,000 points, and then an extra 30,000 for not dying. That probably just barely... Actually, no, that would have gotten me to like only a tiny bit above 4 million. Man, my high score was really good then. Well, whatever. Let's move on. Even just one death is okay on, one very late death too, so it didn't even cost me that much. Even that's alright on extreme mode. They can't all be deathless god runs. Alright, back down to regular mode. This is kind of more what I'm comfortable with. Oh, maybe I should have gone right there. Like, I could see the fact that the red guy was on the left. It would have been just a second or two faster to do the route backwards instead of doing it forwards. Just barely managed to squeeze past that green guy. Green? Pink. I think I was looking at the melon. You know us guys. The moment we see melons, we just can't look away. That was so fast. It's almost like I was desperately trying to run away from my dumb joke. I actually took those corners quite late. It cost me like 1/10 of a second if I had to guess. But it did cost me something. The reason I took those corners late is because my brain only just barely remembered in time that we're supposed to be skipping dots and only collecting ghosts. Luckily my fingers and my brain managed to talk pretty quickly and get the message relayed out there as fast as possible. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? We need to take that corner. We do? Alright, got it. And then I only managed to lose 1/10 of a second instead. Oh my god, I missed the corner. I only managed to lose 1/10 of a second instead of like a full second. What am I doing? Why was I so eager to get in front of the ghost spawn? It's like I knew that I wanted to do a bunch of skips to avoid dots, but I didn't know where I wanted to do them, so I just started doing them everywhere. I've got a lot of insight into the way my brain works in extremely dumb ways in the past 5 minutes. Anytime I appear to be funny or witty or intelligent, just keep in mind that it's entirely the fact that my reaction speed is extremely well. I am a fast thinker, not a good thinker. Oh, you're trying to get me, but it's not going to work, buddy. Wow, that bounce just put me right into your face, huh? It's a shame that this is a cutscene eating and not a regular eating, because I would have loved to get those 2 dots at the same time, instead of wasting those 3 or 4 seconds collecting them in the 1-up. Actually, if the 1-up put itself like in the top right corner as well... Oh, forget it, we're going this way. I'm not bumping past all 4 of you. And we can just collect it now. Oh, no! I was hoping the red guy would go the other way. I believe... Okay, this might just be superstition talking. But I believe that the ghosts of this game actually have AIs similar to their original AIs in the original Pac-Man. If you're not familiar, in the original Pac-Man, the red ghost would just run straight at you, which would end up making it follow you because it didn't have any idea of how to like get in front of you. The pink one would try to get in front of you. The blue one would try to like go to a weird spot defined by like... It wants to... I forget exactly where it wants to go. Like, the blue one basically sets up weird flanks because it has the most complicated AI. And then the orange one is kind of just a coward, where it pretends to come at you, but then if it ever actually gets close, it runs away. And I have tried to figure out if this game uses similar AIs for the ghosts, but I've never really had any kind of conclusive proof one way or the other, aside from times where I just look at them and go, ah, that was totally like I expected that! That was totally like the original AIs, I knew it! But nothing conclusive. In that case, the red one came right at me instead of taking like a weird flanking route like I kind of hoped it would, which is exactly what the red ghost would do in a real Pac-Man game. I say as though this is not a real Pac-Man game, you know, in the original. So again, it's more anecdotal proof of like, aha, I knew it, but it's nothing conclusive. Oh, where are you going? Oh my god, why can't I get this guy? The annoying part is that when he does a big cross from north to south like that, It means that I can't actually go past him because he's hogging the entire space. That's just barely 4 million. Yep, not an S rank. Embarrassing. I was almost. S rank must be like 4.1. Yeah, not much to say about that run aside from I wish I played better. On second... What the heck is that? Lotus? On second Lotus, or whatever the heck that's supposed to be, you can see the dip from my death. And then I needed to get an extra 500,000 on second key to make this score anywhere near good. So I played both too slow and too poorly. But, you know, it's a run on camera. I can't reset every time everything goes a little bit wrong, so obviously I'm not going to get perfect runs. Alright, off to Manhattan. Just a couple more and then I think we'll call it. I did do one practice video that went all the way through each odd level. So I've played Manhattan once recently, and I remember that this one's really annoying. But the trickiest maze out of the bunch, I remember that one fairly well now, so hopefully I won't get caught out by it again. Oh, I went kind of a weird way. Alright, bumped straight through the pink one, apparently. Yeah, I ended up having to double back on my path because of that weird route, and now I've crashed into the pink one twice. That's definitely not the correct route for first orange there. And if I was doing runs off camera, I would probably reset and make a mental note of that. I need to be more careful on first orange. So the one thing I don't like is taking this big horizontal path that wraps around, if I can avoid it. Ugh. Because there's a lot of dots, but it's not a lot of ghosts. Using 2 bombs is not really worth it though, so I'm not sure if that was the correct thing to do either. Alright, there's barely any ghosts on this level at all, so I can probably just skip it. Now where do I go? And I just love the pink guy today, huh? That was sort of efficient, I guess. Whoa. See, the pink guy was trying to get in front of me instead of just chasing me. That is what the pink guy does in regular Pac-Man, but I'm not sure... But that time they all just got in front of me. Oh, well, they were Ghost Train mode, though. In Ghost Train mode, I don't think they follow AI. Who knows? What the... Why am I down here? Every time I bounce off the ghosts and end up in a weird place, I kind of have to reset my brain quickly. Where am I going? It was so obvious that I need to go right instead of down there. I'm not sure why it took me one go to figure that out. One extra go, I mean. I was hoping I would find an excuse to take that path during the ghost hunting section, but I didn't. So I figured while I'm getting the extra life, I might as well do that. Anyway, this is the annoying map, because there's giant clusters of ghosts on the on each corner. Here, 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 and here. Oh goodness, get away from me. So what I would really like to do is grab only those clusters. Oh, that was so good. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time, man. Anyway, as I was going to say, what I would really like to do is grab only those clusters, then grab the power pellets and get everything else on the way. But it's kind of hard to do that because of the single ghosts that are, like, in the way. Where's the extra life? There it is. So it ends up becoming really difficult to figure out how to do that one efficiently. I basically just follow the dots and full clear the level instead of, like, actually trying to figure out what a more efficient route to get just the giant clusters of ghosts would be. Cool bounce. Always nice when I just run head first into the ghosts, smack into them, and then they just decide to eject me out forwards and save me a couple of seconds instead of costing me them. Oh my god, you cheaters. Overlapping with each other just so you can get out of my way like that. If you've got good ears, you'll notice that this song is the same one that was playing during the first level. It's Pac Jump Up, and it's literally one of my favorite songs ever. Sometimes I listen to it during work, although when I get into the final minute of it during work, I get really fucking tense. Like, oh shit, I'm in the last minute of a run, I gotta make sure that I really do this part really well, and wait, no. I'm looking at spreadsheets. This isn't Pac-Man. Listening to Toho music doesn't quite give me that kind of emotional reaction. It really just is Pac Jump Up that's like, because I've listened to it for so many times in the exact same context of doing a 5-minute score run, it like reminds me of that feeling. Actually, I guess, Toho songs, you generally hear them in the same context as well, although because they're looping, it's harder to define them by like the boss themes. It's, yeah. Like, you could be at any part of the boss during any part of the song, so it's a little bit trickier to, like, have an emotional reaction to any of them. Oh, get out of the way, will you? That just cost me 10,000 points, that bomb. Ah, but if I eat exactly 20 dots, it was worth it. So I wonder if that saved me enough time to eat 20 extra dots. Got another only barely S rank. I wonder what I did in my high score. I mean, it must have just been that I managed to get to second apple. Or managed to full clear second apple, I mean. Because I didn't die this run, I'm pretty sure. God, so there are more efficient paths I could be taking that would be, like, getting me to these later levels that much earlier, apparently. I wonder where they are. Or maybe I'm just skipping even more aggressively than I am now, but I'm already skipping pretty aggressively. Anyway, this is the last run I'll do, and then maybe we'll fully watch one of my replays on one of the harder levels, just so I can remind myself of what the heck I used to do. It'll help if I ever decide to play this game, like, real hardcore again. That little dodge there was not on purpose, I was actually trying to take the next corner, but the fact that I dodged the red guy means I barely lost any time doing it anyway. Obviously, just powering through the red guy would have been a little bit faster, but the fact that I didn't need to do that does make the dodge look a little bit smarter. I decided to go left instead of right first this time, just because that way I won't crash into the pink guy, but then I ended up crashing into the red guy anyway, so shrug emoji. Oh, there's no point getting any more ghosts, they're already at max. Okay, I'm having real trouble catching this guy. Oh my god, he's completely outfoxing me. What? He went that way? Forget it. We're about to run out of invincibility time. That's just tragic. Okay, do better this time, doofus. Alright, so we're going to be mentally prepared to go right on the third map. Was it the third map? And we're going to power through this guy instead of accidentally doing this dodge. Right, I gotta remember that this map has a lot more junctions in its ghost train paths than most maps do. So I need to really be smart about luring them into tricky spots for them. Also, I didn't need to go right because I actually took a different... So taking a different path in map 2 means that I didn't have to take a different path on that map. It's like a butterfly effect kind of... whatever. I'm just talking a million miles a minute about nothing. And of course, this goes 1,000 times more smoothly on the second attempt, huh? Alright, time to start skipping levels. Just grab the ghost and get out. There's no good cut here, unless I go like this way and grab that guy. Then grab that and bomb. Not sure if that was worth it. Instead of grabbing that one ghost down there, I'll grab a few from here. Maybe I should have bombed there instead of running all that way. Who knows? I'll eat these 6 ghosts, and that way... Yeah, eating those 6 ghosts barely took any time at all, and that increases the amount of points I can get from these guys by quite a lot. Can I get those dots on the right before I trap this guy? Yes. I managed to find a good cut on the left side, but on the right side I ended up having to eat all the dots. I wonder what I did on the left side that I failed to do on the right side. Oh my god, there's so many different junctions you can take. Yeah, I really have to trap them into the corners at the very top and bottom of the screen. Like that. There we go. I might earn the extra life halfway through this level. In fact, I certainly will. Out of the way, everyone. Maybe I should have bombed instead of trying to power through them. Okay, that extra life is in an easy place to get to. Out of the way. That wasn't the best way to get this done, but oh well. There's still a couple of dots there. There we go. Not too bad. Ah, damn it. I didn't take those corners frame perfectly, so the dot managed to... or the power pellet, sorry. The power pellet managed to get pretty far away from me before I caught up with it again. Ah, not quite. What am I doing? I should just grab the dots. Oh, it went right in front of me. See? Just grab the dots and it'll come to you. That's kind of the whole point behind not getting all the dots early. Because you need to juke around to force them into weird spots anyway, like, you run to a... I thought the blue guy might come straight for me, but then he ended up going somewhere weird. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Because the basic strategy is that you run somewhere to make them go away from you, and then suddenly you reveal, like, okay, now I'm in the perfect spot to flank you. Like, you're doing that regardless of whether there's dots there or not. So it usually ends up that when you grab the dots, the ghosts will like run away from you into a weird corner somewhere, and then you can just go get them now that they're trapped. And it didn't waste any time at all to grab the dots because of that. You were getting something done anyway. The thing you were getting done was juking them. I'm not sure if that's a perfect explanation. But it explains why, like, leaving dots all around in weird spots is fine, because you want to go to those weird spots anyway to juke the ghosts. You get two things done at once, it's efficient. You always want to be doing two things at once. Ah, I didn't have time to pick up that extra life. What a shame. That wasn't too bad. If I picked up that extra life, that would actually be pretty close to 4.6. And then just a few more points and it would have been my high score. Yeah, so that tragic death at the end, not getting the fruit or the extra life at the end, those things all added up in just to those few points I missed. Alright. So, let's see. Let's just get a replay going. Smith Manhattan here. Let's look at the leaderboards quickly. Yeah, I'm number 18, and the replay... Ah, Nick! That guy beats me on every level. By just a little bit, usually. Or maybe he's just... Yeah, he's about as good as me, so I always notice just, like, there's all these big names, and then just, the guy called Nick. That one's easy to remember. I always remember when he's only a rank or two above me. Anyway. I really messed this one up when I did it just 10 minutes ago. Go ahead and show me how I'm supposed to do it while I start debriefing the video. So as I was about to say, I'm super good at Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. I've got top 100 scores on basically every single level. I used to have a lot of top 10s, but people started beating me eventually. Now I think I've only got like... I'm not even sure if I've got one, honestly. I used to have a couple. Although, the annoying thing is that Pac-Man Championship Edition 1, even though I don't like it that much as a game... Oh, sorry, I love Pac-Man Championship Edition 1, but I think this game is a big improvement over it. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, that game tells you how many people are playing it. 500,000 people played Pac-Man Championship Edition 1. So when I see that I'm 300th on some level there, I know that, like, oh, I'm the top 0.1%. Whereas this game, I'm the 18th best on Manhattan, but I don't know if that, like... Oh, I bombed? Whoa, I did not pick up a lot of ghosts at all here. Oh, because there's only 2 trains. That actually makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, and they'll just leave. Wow. I guess that's how you save time. Yeah, I didn't even get to 500, I only got to 496. Anyway. So I'm not quite sure how good I am at this game compared to Pac-Man Championship Edition 1. Because I may be talking out my butt here, but I just have a vague recollection that people didn't receive this game as well as they liked Pac-Man Championship Edition 1. I think maybe less people played it. Oh, one pellet early. You hate to see it. Yeah, I'm bombing way more than... Okay, I guess like that's what I do in my off-camera runs. I try to get the bombs real efficient. Like, just do them the very second the fruit spawns. Oh, that was so good. Man, I love it. Big fan of your work, Runespism. Anyway. So yeah, I don't think people liked this game as much as Pac-Man Championship Edition 1. Like, I saw a lot of people saying, like, oh, the ghosts just aren't as deadly. As though it's like... I mean, A, that's not the point. The point is that they're there to slow you down, not to kill you. And they still do kill you sometimes. I died plenty of times in this video. But also, like... they're still, like, slowing you down a lot in this game. You still actually try to avoid them. It's just not because they're deadly, it's because you don't want to crash into them. They cost time. But I can understand how, to some people, that just wouldn't feel like Pac-Man. Maybe if they're, like, fans of the actual series and not just fans of Championship Edition. Oh, that was bad. That's room for improvement in my record. And then... Yeah, so I don't think this game is as popular. I don't think it was as well received, which is a shame, because I like it way more. And then because of that, even though I'm looking at the 18th best run of this level ever, I'm not sure if that's actually as impressive as getting a top 100 in regular Pac-Man Championship Edition, because maybe it's just like 5 times less people play this game, so a top 20 is the same as a top 100 in the other one. Yeah. But I'm still quite happy with my performance in this game. Like, the moment I started getting top 10 runs, I kind of stopped caring if this game was less popular or not. That's still pretty good. But yeah, it's been a while. Years, even. So I'm a little rusty, and people have been getting better while I haven't. This run used to be, like, the 5th best run, and now it's 17th, or 18th, or whatever it was. That was a weird duck that I did. I wonder why I bothered to grab those pellets. It almost just looked like a mistake, honestly. Oh, that's a shame. That's about all I wanted to say, I guess, comparing the two games. Ah, waiting for the life. I was wondering what the heck I was doing. Yeah, so here I believe I only had 40 seconds left in my run that I just did today. Whereas now I've got a full minute left, which should be plenty of time to fully complete 2 stages. Grab the dots. Yep. Luckily, the cheat that happened in the bottom left corner there was just one of them running into a dead end. If they cheated in a weirder way, I wouldn't have been able to catch them like that. Yeah, this stage is really annoying, so I don't even bother trying to do any weird cuts. I just go the dot way. Like, follow the dots, just do it normally. Oh, that was a clever way to get in front of that. I should do that more often. I feel like I usually just chase those down and rely on the fact that Pac-Man is a little bit faster. But it's actually way better to cut in front of them if you get a chance to. Ooh, and I have enough time to grab the life, don't I? Oh, and maybe even a few dots. Yeah, not bad. So yeah, that's what one of my high scores looks like. It's the same thing, but done much more efficiently. Just anytime I make a little mistake, I restart instead of powering through it. Yeah, and you can see when you actually collect the 4th extra life from 4 million points, that big chunk there is worth almost 100,000 points. They end up getting worth quite a fair bit. But anyway. Oh, it was 18th, not 17th. Right, it was the dreaded Nick. Wait, let me go through at least a couple and see if I can see him. So that one, I'm down to 75th because there's a whole bunch of cheaters on the first one. Like, people actually just hacking scores in. Let's see, this one used to be 10th. What is it now? Oh, 47th. Jeez, I need to improve this one. Nick must be all the way up here. Oh, whatever. There's no need to do this on camera. I couldn't find him, so maybe he's actually got a super good score on that one. Anyway, that was Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. It's a game that I'm pretty fantastic at. And I hope that, like... Man, I hope that someone watched this thinks that they want to play it now, because this is such a fun game. That's about all. See you all next time.